You're a loser.
Wow.
How am I supposed to be with you when I got these men all the time in my DMs offering me luxury cruises, mansions, all this different stuff, and then I come home to you playing video games in your underwear?
It was good when we first started dating.
That's 7 years ago. I've grown as a person, and you haven't. I've outgrown you.
Wow. So after all these years, you have to tell me that about getting pregnant by another man? We couldn't separate for you. We couldn't have this conversation before we got to this part.
Things happen, but
I had to find out you was pregnant.
You weren't taking
How low
care
of you?
of me.
That's low.
You were not. The bottom line is that you were not taking care of me.
I'm a hard-working man.
I get another man's arms.
I'm a hard-working man. I gave you everything you asked for me. What more you want?
I'm in here splitting half of these bills. You're not taking care of me.
The rent is $4,000.
So? A real man could pay that $4,000 and then some. I should be in the hills somewhere. You know, this is expensive. I gotta maintain with Botox. You know, like, you don't want me looking older. I gotta take care of myself. You don't pay for that. You have all these expectations on me that you can't even provide.
The reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago. It's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power.
It's not going to be saved by the prince. And
why did feminism in media evolve into like this anti-romance stance? It's kind of ironic that like in this pursuit of, you know, proving how independent women are, they still prove that a woman is strong by making her independent of a man. They believe that a strong woman can only be strong so long as she's doing it in spite of a man. And in this desire to come off as super progressive and feminist, they end up making movies that nobody wants to fucking watch. It's like they're under the belief that women only like romance and like the idea of a Prince Charming because society pushed that upon them. And they feel the need to like separate themselves from these kinds of stories when in reality, most women just like this type of shit. I'm of the belief that a truly feminist movie with a feminist character and a feminist message is something like Terminator 2. Sarah Connor is a badass protagonist who handles her shit, and she's a great character, and everyone who's watched this movie, they love Sarah Connor. She existed as like this no-nonsense badass and also as this nurturing mother at the same time. She was an in-depth, three-dimensional character that had a shit ton of character growth from the first Terminator movie. She presented traits that both men and women could relate with. You could identify with this character regardless of what sex you were. Now it feels like Hollywood's intent on spreading messages that are specific to men and that are specific to women. They encourage the feminization of men, which isn't always a bad thing. Like, it's okay to have some traits that some people may find feminine. Like the idea that you have to save everyone, like that you have to be the protector. It's okay to like delegate some of that responsibility. It shouldn't be entirely on your shoulders. I get that. But then on the other hand, they're telling women, you don't need anyone to save you. You save yourself. You're strong. You're powerful. If anyone even tries to save you, that's them telling you that you're not strong. It makes no fucking sense. And the lack of self-awareness on Rachel Zegler's and Gal Gadot's part, it's incredible. I know that they're being told what to say through like publicists and maybe other people that are in charge of their management, but the fact that they're so out of touch that they genuinely believe that this is what people want to hear, that this is what's going to make people go to the movie, it's not surprising. This is the exact same approach that we saw with the Ghostbusters movie, with Ocean's 8, with every single movie that prioritized strong women over strong story. It's gonna fucking fail, and it's gonna fail badly.
Buckle up, y'all. I'm gonna make somebody not happy say that. Who is contributing to the biggest downfall of this country? Are you ready? I don't think you're ready. It's freaking women. It's freaking women. And you're probably saying to yourself right about now, well, Christina, you're a woman. You're right, I am. And that statement doesn't even offend me, that women are the biggest downfall in our society. So let me explain. The entire feminist movement has literally turned women against men. We want to be treated equal like men. We want to get all the same things that men do. We don't want to be seen as different. We want to say that we can do anything a man can do. But the problem is, you can't do everything a man can do, just like a man can't do everything that you can do. So we're constantly in this pissing battle of who is better, who's more superior, who's better in the workplace, who can make more money, who does the parenting roles better. And when a woman tries so hard to be the masculine when she's supposed to be feminine, you now have disrupted the way it's supposed to be. Marriages are going down the toilet because of feminism. It's not just that, but that's a huge contributing factor. Women are trying to take over the roles that men are set to have, and therefore trying to prove themselves to be better, more superior. I don't need no man. I'm strong and independent. I don't need a man to help me. I don't need any of these things from a man. It's all woman power, empowerment. Now, don't get it twisted. I do believe women should be strong, independent, and be empowered, but not in a pissing competition against men. By you trying to assume that masculine role, you're offsetting the balance in your marriage. You're taking on the role that he's supposed to have, while now, because you're taking on the masculine, you're feminizing him. And the other downfall of this world is feminized men. There's a reason we were created the way we were created. But everybody keeps trying to change up what God's original intention was and what he had in place. Now, the other funny thing is, the women who get upset that I said this are the ones exactly who I'm talking about. The women who agree with what I'm saying, those are the women who are the true women of this society, that what we need to get back to. Husbands, men, they're not our enemies. We have to stop treating them like they are. Women are so hyper-focused on demonizing men, pointing out their flaws and what they do wrong, instead of taking accountability for what they are doing. So now you have the roles reversed, lack of accountability, selfishness. It's a disaster. But the women may be the downfall, but they're not the cause.
Picture a random happy woman sitting on her couch. She's a housewife, married to a lovely husband with 2 kids. She turns on the television. A woman, or should I say a group of women, appear on screen and start talking about how all women are living oppressive lives. The woman with a perfect marriage sees this and thinks to herself, I deserve more than I'm getting. I want to work. I want to be independent. I don't need no fucking man. Why did she change all of a sudden? Well, it's because of the hive mindset these women have. It's all women. That illness. Yes, the hive mindset is an illness. Anyway, that illness just varies from woman to woman. The housewife asks for a divorce due to the no-fault divorce law. She gets half of the husband's assets, plus the kids too. Now she's an independent single mother. Imagine that not only one woman turned on the television that day. Imagine that over 1 million women turned on the television that day. The family unit would be ruined. Well, fun fact, the family unit has been ruined. These modern women have joined the third wave feminism movement, and now it is taking a toll on family and society combined. Feminism has decided to destroy the family unit during the second wave of feminism. Because feminism destroyed the family unit, feminism cancelled the 2 main millennial male rules also. They were provider and protector of the family, wife and children. Why? Do you remember the Robin Morgan feminist leader's words? We cannot destroy inequities between men and women until we destroy marriage. Robin Morgan's words in 1970. How has feminism destroyed families? With 4 weapons, they have been divorce, birth control pill, abortion, and sex liberation. The radical feminism goal has been achieved. Look at data about marriage and newborn fall down dramatically. Men, therefore, have been completely deprived of responsibility by radical feminism. So, without the millennial male roles of protector and provider, the male gender is in deep crisis. Now, men are starting to be aware of this new situation and are starting to react strongly. How? MGTOW. Men are leaving women completely alone. No love, no commitment, no romance, no relationship, no marriage, and no kids. Only occasional sex provided by sexual liberation with feminism sponsors. So, men can have easy access to the sex without responsibility of a family. Feminism is also destroying American men, and we are all seeing the fallout. Sadly, women have been falsely claiming rape against rich men when they don't want to pay out for the false blackmail. In particular, black men get a bad rap because women falsely claim rape, and no one bats an eye. That's so fucking wrong. Women have already begun out-earning average men. Men are treated as ignorant slobs by society. And right now, many of us young men just want out. There's a reason why America has the highest tax in the world to renounce your citizenship. And there's a reason why young men are almost absent from dating. Okay, so check it out. With things changing, men won't have to be all about being the protectors and providers anymore. That means they'll save some serious cash. For all the women who aren't down with feminism, it's going to be a whole different story. They'll have to hustle extra hard to make ends meet because they are going to handle most of the expenses, like a whopping 80%. Think artificial procreation, raising kids, salon trips, bags, shoes, wheels, crib, outfits, makeup, bling, vacations, dates, dining out, partying, school, and healthcare. It's a whole different ballgame. What most young people don't understand is that there have been different waves of feminism. The first two nobody disagreed with because they were for women's rights, which women now have. The third wave of feminism has gone away from that and turned into misandry, sexism towards men, combined with brainwashing women to believe they are victims of oppression, especially males, to keep up with the woke identity politics. Part of this has been devaluing women's contribution as mothers. Another has been insisting that women should work the same as men. The result of this is often unhappy, career-driven women who realized too late in life they wanted a family too. But that was the choice they gave up to compete doing 80-hour weeks for a job. Men don't give that up because biology allows us to reproduce at pretty much any age. The problem with modern feminism is it has become a cult-like movement, a religion that refuses to accept any criticism. Those who dare criticize the fanatical cult are heretics, accused of being sexist. Feminists don't debate, they censor. This is a major problem, because feminism is a very powerful and influential movement in the West, and to have an increasingly toxic movement beyond criticism is very dangerous. Take the Me Too movement, and feminism's increasingly toxic attitude to sex and sexuality, for example. Me Too is dangerous because it puts men on trial on Twitter instead of the courts. No evidence of guilt is required. A mere accusation is enough to condemn people. Feminists seek to ban porn and shut down the sex industry with zero credible evidence that either causes harm. In fact, there is credible evidence from Rhode Island that legalizing the sex industry actually reduces the levels of violence against women. Feminism's biggest problem is that it ignores science and biological reality. Only young women can reproduce and have children. Any movement which structures society in a way which discourages women from having children both dooms society and itself. Ultimately, feminism is doomed because feminist societies don't reproduce. Its toxic legacy will be the destruction of Western societies. Now, before anyone jumps the gun and cries like a baby, I don't really plan on trying to change the way America thinks, because that would be ignorant of me to think such a thing was even possible. I just want a country where we get a decent life and work balance, where things aren't so one-sided for either sex. I'm not trying to change anyone's mind about it, and I don't care what any of you think. This is just what I think. Welfare has risen to absurd levels. Laws forcefully take money from working men and give it to women. No more children. Women are children. They should not be given rights beyond their abilities. Women cannot lead. Period. Anyway, that's all for today on Manhood. Let me hear your own opinion in the comments. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. If you find value in my videos, you can show your support through PayPal or Cash App. The links are in the description. See you next time. Cheers.